My favorite thing about this show, I can't talk about because of spoilers, damn it! Welcome to Binge Watchers, where we talk about the stories and characters we love and the shows they live in. My name is Ron, let's talk about Fringe. So let's get the first thing out of the way. Fringe has 5 seasons, 4 of which have 22 episodes each. I personally am not a big fan of the million episode season because a lot of the times it just forces shows to stretch itself just to fill episodes, which leads to filler one-off episodes that don't contribute anything to the plot. For example, I like Supernatural, I like it a lot, but you can easily not watch like 50% of the episodes and you won't miss a whole lot. You might be missing out on some funny meta moments though. So in order to enjoy a show with so many episodes, in order for the show to give me some value in return for spending an insane amount of time watching it, I need a good story, but mainly I need creativity. I'm okay with one-off episodes and Freak of the Week type thing, as long as it's genuinely interesting and creative or character building. And Fringe delivers most of the time. So Fringe tells the story of FBI agent Olivia Dunham as she joins the Fringe division, investigating paranormal events that might all be connected. The first season, all of it, is all about getting to know the characters, Olivia, Peter, and his father Walter, and the world itself, the setting. It's completely episodic, Freak of the Week, all the way through. The general theme of Fringe is that something paranormal happens, Olivia investigates it in the cop show traditional way. Walter comes up with some scientific explanation on how it happened, what caused it, how to kill it, or how to solve the problem. And Peter does a little bit of both. There is a lot of science talk in this show, every episode, and I'm guessing it's the sort of thing that will make actual science people cringe. I should have come up with some sentence to rhyme cringe and fringe and binge, but I didn't. So one piece of advice while watching this is just accept anything that Walter says. You'll have a hard time not to because he's just so good. Walter Bishop, one of my favorite characters ever. So the thing about Fringe is that it evolves. It doesn't stay the same show all the way through. It starts out as X-Files, CSI, and Twilight Zone all mashed together, but it grows into multiple timelines and wormholes and a lot of really creative ideas and a crazy, interesting, and entertaining story. Obviously, there is a very familiar formula to every episode in the first season. Something that looks kind of random happens, then the intro plays, then they investigate it, then they figure it out, roll credits. And many times it will be just your procedural cop drama with the paranormal sprinkled on top. But I would say that enough of the episodes are creative and interesting to make it worth it. And also, as I said, the show grows. By season 3, it evolves into a pretty complicated story, and the show makes the transition to focusing more on the main story itself with the occasional one-off episode. That one-off episode might not contribute anything to the story, but it usually teaches you something about the characters or gives you more insight into the world. Obviously, it's not Breaking Bad. It's not supposed to be. The story is crazy, and a lot of the times you will be saying, oh, come on, that was just too easy. Like, the made-up science works for the story. If the story needs something to be possible and have a crazy scientific explanation, it will be possible and have a crazy scientific explanation. The reason I'm generally okay with this is because Fringe does something better than most shows of this format. Something that's very important to me in any show: character development. A lot of work goes into fleshing out these characters. And without that, the whole thing would just fall apart. Those crazy storylines that we talked about, a lot of them depend on you actually caring about these people. You should get to a point where you say, he did something terrible, but I understand why he did it. Olivia, Peter, and Walter are surprisingly deep characters, and each of them go through their own transformation, which is pretty fascinating to watch. The show does come to a point where it stretches the story a bit thin and overuses some elements that make the show cool and thus making them lose coolness points or whatever. And it gets complicated to the point where you feel they just wanted it to be complicated, so they kept just adding things that weren't completely necessary just to make it so complex and whoa, it's true, what's this? But I don't think that Fringe went on for too many seasons. I think it ended where it should have. It could have easily told the story in less episodes though. By the final season, you are fully immersed in this world and you are ready for the story to conclude. The final season is 13 episodes, all main story. It gives you a very refreshing change from the previous 4 seasons, and personally I loved the ending. This show knows how to reward you for watching all of it. You do have to forgive the occasional plot hole, as you do with any fiction that deals with timelines and time travel and timey-wimey stuff. Bottom line, should you watch it? If you like the paranormal stuff and you like cop shows, then wow, yes, this is the show for you. But beyond that, I would watch it for the characters and the creative ideas and stories. If you're the kind of person that science gibberish that may or may not mean anything makes your eyes roll to the back of your head, you will probably not enjoy this show. But I think you will be missing out. Fringe is a very big investment of your time, but it's consistently entertaining and tends to be surprisingly deep. So have you watched or are you watching Fringe? There is so much to talk about with this show. Let's have that discussion in the comments. And if you want to keep talking outside of YouTube, you can also find me on the Twitters and the Facebooks and the Instagrams, and links to all of that below. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, it helps out a lot. And if you're finding binge watchers for the first time, welcome! We're talking about TV every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with reviews, news, stories, all kind of great stuff, all for you fellow binge watchers and TV lovers. So you can go ahead and click that big subscribe button to join in on the fun, or you can check out any of the other videos on the channel. In any case, keep binging, and I'll see you next time.